Hello, welcome back to another episode of Higher Path Conversations. And we're very excited today because we're also going to be going on YouTube. We've already put some up on YouTube, but from now onwards, we're actually going to be showing up and you're going to be able to see us. So we're no longer just a voice. Right, Marisa?
Yeah, we're getting even more and more modern.
Yeah. So we're really glad. This is, yesterday we had the solar eclipse and it was all about new beginnings, and it was in Gemini, and that's got a lot to do with modern things. And so we're stepping into the newness, and in this newness, here we are with our newness in this new episode of Higher Path Conversations. And today we'd like to talk about trust even when it's hard. Yeah. So we're going to dive into that and give you all of our love through this information, all the information we have about this topic for you today. And before that, we're just going to present ourselves. So, Marisa, if you'd like to say hi.
Yes, hi. Very good to hear you and see you. Well, we don't see you, but it does feel now that we have the video too, that we have viewers, not only listeners, right? So my name is Marisa and I'm a transformational coach and specialize in traumatic experiences, especially in early childhood. And what I help my clients with is to guide them from a place where they feel self-loathing, where they feel lost, or where they feel in misalignment with themselves, with their wishes, and then slowly, because it is a process, I guide them to a place where they reconnect with the unconditional self-love and the sovereignty over themselves and their feelings, and of course their lives.
Absolutely, Marisa. Thank you. Bringing us all back to love. Reminds me of Marianne Williamson's book, Return to Love. So thank you for your beautiful service and work in this world.
Thank you.
So I'll just really quickly introduce myself. So I'm Rose Anna Ainsley, and I'm an astrologer, awakening coach, and I support people like you to gain clarity, step into your greatness, own your personal power, and live your life with unwavering passion. And we'll leave information below in the YouTube channel and in the podcast with our emails if you would like to contact us and have a discovery call or a soul date with Marisa. I love her soul dates. Or you can have a discovery call with me. And yeah, we're here to support you in any way that you feel we can. Okay, so let's dive in.
Yeah, I would like to start asking the question, like, especially in these times where we have, we've had the pandemic, and so there is there's definitely been a lot of fear in the end, a lot of insecurity, uncertainty. So it's very easy that we, it's very easy to trust when on the outside everything is going well. It's very easy to trust when I'm on the beach with my piña colada and on holidays and having the money in my bank account. But what about when it gets difficult, when it gets hairy?
Yeah.
Why should we bother trusting, Roseanne?
Yes. Why bother trusting? And I love your examples, and and with what's going on at the moment, when our health is at stake, right? Why bother trusting when we're not feeling healthy? Even why bother trusting when the people surround us seem to be even against us, or life? This sometimes we feel as if life is against us. So thank you. Why bother trusting? So during my life, I've had lots of moments where I've really doubted whether life was worth even living. And so this comes back from when I was from the age of, 9, 10 onwards until about the age of 30, I dare to say, not as far as 30, but nearly there. There were lots of moments where I didn't feel life was worth it, and therefore not trusting in life. And I had a beautiful mentor. He's still alive. His name is Arjun. He used to be known as Stephen Silver. And he initiated me in a beautiful healing called Amasan. And it's an energy of the goddess of the universe. And he said to me that my biggest lesson in this life is discernment. So until then, and we'll talk about that a bit later, the importance of discernment. Until then, it was impossible for me to trust because I wasn't taking care of what felt right or felt wrong for me in life. So I didn't have a chance to enjoy the feeling of trust. But when I did, I learned why it's important to trust. So the first thing is to find a way to experience more trust. And then to allow more of that into your life. And again, why? So let's come back to the question, because I know I've gone off a little bit. Why? Because in the space of trust, you are in love. You are in your heart. You're in connection with your wisdom. So for me, why should we be in trust? Why should we trust? I'm not saying you have to trust someone else. I'm not saying that. Why should you trust, especially in life? Because that will connect to who you really are. It will connect you with who you really are. I'd love to listen.
That's lovely, Rosanna, and so true. And I would like to add something. I relate a lot. I think we both have walked the path of literally growing up without knowing what it is to trust, and rather learning to distrust our environment, because there were a lot of things going on around the environment that made us, of course, distrust, like being abused and both physically and in my case also sexually and so on. So of course that's very difficult foundations for trust, right? When that happens as a child, when you're supposed to feel safe in this world. So of course trust has a lot to do with safety, with how safe do I feel? How safe do I feel in my body? How safe do I feel at home? How safe do I feel in my village or city? How safe do I feel in the country or in the world? Yeah. And why bother? Well, because it's life-changing. And we can both speak literally not only from having learned this or having studied this, but literally having lived through going from a place of darkness into a place of light. Because as Rosanne said, you tap into love when you trust. And the thing also why it's very important is that inside of you and every one of us lives all different, in a way, personalities or identities, to put it one way. We have from the primitive brain, which is on the back, kind of like down here, and we have the co-creator brain part, which is here on the front. So when we're in a place of distrust, this one kicks in. And from the primitive brain, we have 3 responses: fight, fly, or freeze. And we want those responses when we are being attacked, from a man on the street in the middle of the night. That's what we want. We want that primitive brain to kick in so that we have the adrenaline and we have the cortisol and we become like this super strong, like kind of like superpowers. But we don't want that when we are in a relationship with a loved one, when we are with our children, when we are with our neighbors, because then the other one turns into an enemy. Because from the primitive brain, then you are protecting yourself against the others. So why trust? Because you are connecting with a part that is kind of like your best version in a sense, and can co-create so much goodness out of whatever is happening at the moment. Just wanted to add that on the why, from the neuroscientific also point of view, why it's important to sometimes even make the effort
Yeah.
to build that muscle.
Yes, exactly. And Maurice is going to talk to us about building that muscle in a moment, the muscle of trust. And what I wanted to add is when you were talking about the, your loved one, I know a lot of people who also don't trust being in their bodies. So a lot of people spend their energy out of their bodies. So it's also a path of learning to trust your body and being in your body and being able to have that loving relationship with your body and with you. And so when we talk about our loved one, I want to bring it also back to us, because it is a path. Many of us, when we really connect with this, we find that we're actually not fully living in our bodies. There's something that we're not trusting. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to link that to the building the muscle of trust.
Yeah.
Because also the thing is that we've been raised, pretty much all of us, or many of us, we've been raised in a society that tell us to look for the good things outside of us. I'm gonna be happy when I have this amount of money. I'm gonna be happy when I find love. I'm gonna be happy when I get to travel. I'm gonna be happy when something outside of me happens. So the same with safety and with trust. Oh, okay, I'm gonna feel trust when that person proves me this. I'm gonna feel trust when I get this. I have this money, so much money in my account every month, and so on. So we make it very dependent on the outside. And if we throw on top of that, early childhood experiences that where your environment wasn't safe, because there was a lot of yelling, or because, sometimes mom and dad would be kind of like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, some days you did something and it was fine. The next day you did the same and you were yelled at or criticized, or maybe worse. So that was, when we have that, many times we don't really know what it feels like to feel safe. And it starts, as Rosanna just said, it starts already with your own body. So many times, I know it very well from trauma survivors that we have a tendency to escape from our bodies. And we escape from our bodies because we want to escape from the pain that we are physically experiencing. And as children, we are so connected also to our energy and soul that it's very easy for us to go. But then when we go back into our bodies, of course, it's not a safe place for us. So how do we build the muscle of trust? That could take us a whole podcast, right? But important to know is that you take that approach. Take that approach that wherever you are at with your trust,
Yeah.
just feel yourself where, how much, ask yourself those questions. How safe do I feel in my own body? How safe were the questions that I asked you at the beginning, how safe do I feel in my relationship to really fully show up as me? How safe do I feel to tell my truth, to really share what I think and what I believe?
Yeah. How
And
safe do I feel in the world?
exactly.
Yeah.
And start first by being conscious on where you are at with your level of trust. And then take that approach, the approach as As I always say to my clients, I really choose to call myself a coach and not an alternative therapist, for example, because I see this as a training, like a muscle that needs to be trained. And as much as if I want to, and I want to have, very well defined arms, I know that I'm going to have to do some exercises and I'm going to have to be consistent. Well, this is exactly the same approach with trust, right? And one thing to start with is what Rosanna wants to talk about, because before we can trust, of course, we need to discern who and where and how to trust, right?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. So as Marisa and I, we were both talking about how unsafe our childhood or our teenagehood may have felt. In my case, it was more my teenagehood or my early teenagehood and into my teenagehood.
Sorry, a small interruption, but I think it's a beautiful one. It's 11:11 on
On
the
the
11th.
Thank you. Yeah.
So everyone, make a wish.
Yes, make a wish. 11:11 on the 11th. And this is valid even if you listen to it a month later or a week later. This moment is always valid. There's no difference there's no space and time where these numbers exist. And for those who, if you want to be able to locate it in some way, if you connect to what's known as our soul star chakra, that's where the numbers are. Okay, so the universe talks to us in numbers, vibration, and colors. And so if you want to tap into the magic of numbers, it's in that area for you physically, if you want to find it somehow tangible. As tangible as chakras can get. So thank you, Marisa. Discernment. So I was talking about, after that beautiful sacred moment, I was talking about feeling unsafe. Yeah. So to be honest with you all, when I was very little, things were very unsafe as well. But that's a story for another day. But I really started to feel the consequences of that in my early teenagehood and later. And as I was telling you all earlier on, I had this beautiful spiritual mentor who said, your lesson is discernment. And of course, if we keep on choosing things that make us feel unsafe, then obviously we're going to have very little trust in trust. And so in this learning about discernment, so one thing is judging. Yeah, this is my judgment, and I, judge this person as this and judge the other person as the other. On a deeper level, there's discernment. Discernment is a soulful judgment. It's connected to our intuition. I'm going to discern what is best for me, not because of how that person is. It just feels right for me. So I use my discernment to support me to stay in my center and on my path. On my path being what brings me joy, expansion, and love. And in that makes trust. For us to really allow ourselves to step into the joy and our path, we need to be able to trust. And continuously, we're checking in through our discernment whether something is right or wrong for us. We can take a little bit longer to make that decision. We can, feel into it for a while. It can even be months, and it gets to a point where, yes, okay, it's clear for me, that's not for me. But we're not, jumping into things. We're observing, we're feeling, and we're checking whether it's right for us. And from there, you can,
I wanted to mention when you said to check if it's right for us. One way that you can start also training that trust in your body is actually by using your body as a tool of discernment, because your body is always in the present. Your mind, your thoughts, they can be in the future, they can be in the past, they can start roller coasting everywhere, right? It's like the crazy monkey, but your body is always in the present moment. So there's a very small exercise that you can try so that you can also start connecting, because depending on where you're at, it's going to be easier for you or it's going to be really hard for you. For example, I suffer from chronic stress and anxiety up until my early 30s. And so it was really a deep training that I had to go to be able to be in my body to begin with, and start communicating with it. And that was literally also very life changing for me. So see, for example, it's as simple as that. And remember to take baby steps to do this. Again, the training. Don't try things that are overcomplicated or way too much for you. Start as small, and as if it's hard for you, for example, to speak your truth, and you have the tendency, for example, to be a people pleaser and saying yes to everything, even if you don't really want to, just commit to yourself that before you answer, you're going to give yourself 20 seconds. And really go into your body and feel in your body when you ask yourself, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to go there, or meet that person or go to that party? And feel it in your body, how it feels like. If your body contracts, if your body feels tense, then maybe it's not really what you want to do. If you feel expansion in your body and it feels good in your body, that's a good sign. Yeah. So that, like that, we enter what is called the confidence competence loop. Yeah. And it's, you do something small, yeah, exactly. Then you manage to do it, then you feel more confident, and then you dare to do something a bit bigger the next time. And that's how the confidence and competence loops gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. That's
thank fantastic. You. And now Rosanne has an exercise.
I do. I have a little meditation for you all. And there were two things I wanted to say before we go into that. We're not going to be long now. Today we didn't mention the tea and coffee, Marisa, with all the excitement of going live, physically live. So just wanted to say,
here's mine.
You want to go and get yourself a little something to drink, and yes, next time we'll, make sure that you always have your tea and coffee. We don't have to tell you every time. Just know that when you're going to listen to us, just get it ready so you can relax and make this your magical space for you, your time for you. And I love that you mentioned the loop, because I've actually been thinking about this a lot the last 24 hours, where, if you have a sense that you tend to under-deliver, so you overpromise and under-deliver, if you know that you're like that, the probability is extremely high that you might want to take too much of a big step in this trusting. So really, I'm so glad you've mentioned that, Marisa, because baby steps is crucial. And, if you don't speak your truth, then if you're not used to it, as you said, take those 20 seconds and you can just say one thing, one little thing, and what that means to you. It doesn't matter what the others know and don't know about your progress, but you do it for you. And celebrate. Yeah, as you're building your trust, celebrate yourself. And if you've got someone that you can confide in, let them know you're doing it, and have them as someone who you can celebrate with as well. So get yourselves comfortable and take a nice deep breath in and out. This is a special moment for you. Just allow your breathing to take you a little bit deeper into your body. Just allow your breathing to go just that little bit deeper than before. And with your next in-breath and out-breath, take your air, that beautiful oxygen, just that little bit deeper. Each time going deeper than the one before. And below you, I'd like you to imagine that you're actually in the middle of a beautiful forest. And in this forest, there are gigantic leaves, absolutely gigantic leaves, strong leaves. And I invite you to find a leaf that's a little bit bigger than yourself. And these leaves are known as the hammock leaves because you can actually get onto the leaf and lie down on that leaf. These hammock leaves are representation of trusting in life and in your human nature. Your one. Just you. Because as each of us trust in our human nature, the more in love we will be. And you can lie down on this hammock. There's just a bit of sun coming in to warm up the space. And there's some beautiful animals around. And they're all reminding you of the importance of trust. Of trusting in yourself, in your strength, in your discernment, in your ability to build your trust in life. Yes, we live in a world of polarity, but that's actually the beauty. We get to see what it's like to not feel trust, to then to learn what trust is. And then we get the option to decide. We get the opportunity to decide whether we'd like to experience more trust. And now taking your heart, your hands, your left hand and your right hand, and placing them on your heart. And breathing through, in your in-breath, breathe some light through your hands into your heart. This is a superpower that we all have. With your in-breath, connect to the light of Source, where all of light comes from, pure light, the light of love, and allow it to come through the palms of your hands into your heart. And as you breathe in and breathe out, multiply the energy of trust in your heart. Multiply the vibration of trust in your heart. And with the next inhale and exhale, allow the energy of trust to move through all of your body. With the help of the light coming through your hands, while this beautiful hammock leaf sustains you and contains you in your process of building your trust in yourself. Allow and feel how the energy of light and trust build and grow and expand within your body. And as it builds and emanates through your pores, through your energy field, connect with the energy field of trust in your home, in your town, in your city. The same, as they say, within, without, above, below. Connecting now with the energy of trust in your country. Noticing all the beautiful souls lighting up the same level of trust and how you're all connected. Now expanding that experience and that vision to the world, the whole planet, every human being that's ready to be and connect with this trust, this light and this trust, or who's already connected there and you get to connect with them through this beautiful network of light. And noticing that there may be some souls who don't feel they're there yet. And just extend them some beautiful compassion and understanding and patience and joy for the path that they have ahead of them towards this place of trust. And now I'd like you to do something with your right hand that helps you to anchor. You can bring your hand together in a strong fist if you like. Just feel the anchor of trust and repeat after me. I am trust. I am trust. I am trust. And with your left hand, you can make a strong fist and say, I am discernment. I am discernment. I am discernment. And with both of your fists together, you can repeat after me, I am divine intelligence. I am divine intelligence. I am divine intelligence. Allowing divine intelligence to come through and to remind you the power of trust and discernment as you walk your everyday path, as you walk your everyday life. And saying thank you to this beautiful forest as you open your eyes gently. And allowing yourself to roll off that leaf. And coming back to this now with that reminder of the anchor of your hands and the strength of I am. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Roseanne. Thank you so much. I hope you viewers and listeners have enjoyed it as much as I have.
I can't hear you right now, Marisa. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh,
okay.
That's strange.
For whatever reason, something happened with Rosanna's computer, so I'm gonna be saying goodbye just in case.
Oh, there you go. There you are.
Okay, I was gonna say goodbye.
I had to put my volume down so the music wasn't too high, and in that process, yes. So thank you, and we hope you all enjoyed that. And how was it for you, Marisa?
I was just saying that it was, I hope that it was just as beautiful as if it was, as it was for me. So it was very soothing, and I think we should leave it like this, with this
Absolutely.
floating feeling, and let's all drift off
Mm.
slowly and continue tapping into that inner trust, because it's there. Maybe you thought you lost it, but you never lose it. You never lose anything. You just have
Thank
to
you.
remember and
Thank you,
tap into
Marisa.
that.
Yes, yes. As some friends of mine say, aho, aho. Wonderful. So we'll see you all soon in our next episode of Higher Path Conversations next week in Spanish. And we're so grateful and thankful that you're all here. Thank you, listeners. Thank you,
Yes.
Marisa.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone. Much love. Bye.